Alright, let's go ahead and get something straight real quick before we get into the build. Steve stands just under 2 blocks tall. 1.8 blocks according to the Minecraft wiki. That means he is 5 foot 9 inches. And we're going to say 200 pounds because he is a little chunky around the arms. But this is pure muscle. I'm talking everything is muscle. Even his bones have muscles somehow. Using the gold block as our example, he is able to carry a stack of 64 in just one hand. For a full inventory of these gold blocks, including what's not on your hotbar, your hotbar plus your inventory when you press E, that is 30 spaces. 30 times 64 times the weight of gold is over 45 million pounds. And this is not counting shulker boxes, which probably just has the equivalent of Dungeons & Dragons bag of holding, so it doesn't really affect the calculations. But it's still a lot of weight to carry. So, in order for us to get relatively close to that carrying capacity, we would need to be a Goliath, Bear Totem Warrior Barbarian, and a Rune Knight Fighter with a strength of 20. This will total our carrying capacity to 2,400 pounds. Not even close. Alright, welcome dear viewers. It is I, Drayhon, and welcome back to another Dungeons & Dragons character conversion. Like I said in the opening, it is nearly impossible to be able to get the carrying capacity necessary to be as strong as the actual Minecraft Steve. Now, I did forget one thing in that calculation, and that was a spell that I'll be covering in this video at the end when we talk about the spell list. Yes, we get a spell list. The guy who doesn't use magic has a spell list. I hate this part about the build. That is it. Everything else is pretty much accurate. And then, in this series, I take a look at different characters from many different franchises and try to make an accurate representation of them as a Dungeons & Dragons character. Since we're not be able to carry things that are millions of pounds, I guess using spells is going to have to be a good enough substitute. Anyway, to start things off, we're using the point-buy system for our stats. Strength, Dexterity, and Constitution are going to be the same stat at 14. Intelligence will be at 12. Wisdom and Charisma are our lowest stats at 9. That'll be fixed here in a moment. Steve is a human. There is even a removed mob in Minecraft's code known as the Human, which is just a slightly taller version of Steve. This will give us 1 point in each of our stats, 15 for Strength, Dexterity, and Constitution, 13 for Intelligence, and 10 for both Wisdom and Charisma. We get a walking speed of 30 feet, and languages are going to be Common and Elvish. I will have to explain that in another video. Now, Tulok the Barbarian does have his own version of Minecraft Steve, and I personally like the video. Though it actually has more of an equivalent to Minecraft Dungeons. In fact, I probably should try making the canon crew of Minecraft Dungeons. Oh well, I'll probably do that another day. Moving on to background, we're going to go with Outlander. You woke up in the middle of nowhere. and you just decided to start surviving. So we're going to have proficiencies in skills for athletics and survival. Tools, one musical instrument of choice. Pick your favorite type of note block, sound, and just go with that. Languages, Orc. That's going to have to be explained in another video as well. Feature, Wanderer. You have an easier time at finding food, which is going to be useful, especially when sheep refuse to spawn, or cows, or chickens. I've had a lot of bad luck with spawns. Anyway, we're going to start things off with Fighter. You can punch good, which is decent, but you use a lot of different weaponry, from swords to tridents to even your shield if you like. We get a D10 hit die, start off with some pretty good hit points. 12, to be exact. Proficiencies, all armor and shields. Kinda necessary. Simple weapons and martial weapons. Saving throws of strength and constitution. Also, skills for animal handling and acrobatics. You are able to tame a wolf and a cat from a village that probably owned by one of those villagers. So yeah, it's pretty easy for you. Fighting style, we're going to use the Unearthed Arcana's Mariner. This not only increases your walking speed by 5 feet, giving you 35 walking speed to start out, but you also get a climbing and swimming speed equal to your walking speed. Plus a +1 to your armor class, so long as you are not wearing heavy armor. Gotta make that clear. So long as you are not wearing heavy armor, you get a climbing and a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. And you get a +1 to your AC. If you're wearing medium armor, perfectly fine, you'll still gain that bonus. Light armor, still gain the bonus. You have a shield, still gain the bonus. You're fine. There's going to be a lot of Unearthed Arcana in this build, so if you're not a fan of Unearthed Arcana, I would recommend checking out Tulok's video. Or just replace things with equal abilities, because there are some non-Unearthed Arcana material that is very similar to the Unearthed Arcana material, even though it's not. Anyway, I am getting sidetracked. Second Wind is your final feature for Fighter Level 1. We have the ability to multi-class, so we're going to multi-class straight into Artificer. D8 hit die, some extra proficiencies, including firearms, but that's not necessary since we don't exactly have firearms. I guess fireworks, technically. You get magical tinkering and spell casting, which uses your intelligence modifier. Level 2 fighters get action surge. Level 3 fighters get a martial archetype. Normally, I would probably go with champion or maybe even battle master, but I decided to go with scout from Unearthed Arcana. This is basically a diet ranger. You don't get any spellcasting with this archetype, but you do get some features that are very similar to the ranger, including the natural explorer. You get a favorite terrain, and this will increase as you level up. So yeah, grasslands. You get combat superiority, and you get 3 automatically. Survival superiority, precision attack, and scout's evasion. You get a slight bonus to your armor class, and if the attack still hits you, you take half damage. Pretty cool. Moving on to level 4 fighter, you get an ability score improvement. Increase your constitution and intelligence each by 1, rounding them off to a nice even number. Level 2 artificers get infuse item. We get a couple of good choices with this build, so yeah. Bag of holding replica, ring of water walking we'll definitely be able to get, if I remember correctly. Probably. I didn't list any of the infusions that would work, so... Anyway, moving on. Level 3 Artificer. We get an Artificer Specialist. We're going to go with Alchemist, simply because of the brewing stand. That's it. That's the only thing I went with. After I built this character, I realized I could have chose a different one, but I decided to keep Alchemist because I like it. We get Alchemist Spells, Healing Word, and Ray of Sickness. And we also get Experimental Elixir, giving us access to some pretty neat potions. We also get the right tool of the job for just being a level 3 Artificer. We get to create whatever tool we want, and we automatically get proficiency in it. How useful is that? Level 4 Artificers get an ability score improvement. Increase your strength and dexterity each by 1. Level 5 Artificers get Alchemical Solvent and more Alchemist spells, Flaming Sphere, and Moofs. However you want to pronounce that, Acid Arrow. I'm just going to say Acid Arrow whenever I have that guy's name pop up, or Meteor Swarm if I get his other spell, because I do not want to pronounce that wrong. I'm going to sound stupid saying it. And then finally, Artificer level 6 with Tool Expertise. Now, there are 2 paths you can take. You can either continue in the path of the Artificer, which at level 16, well, technically level 15, thanks to the Alchemist subclass, you do get access to greater restoration and heal automatically as part of your Alchemist abilities. Level 14 Fighter gets more ability score improvement options, as well as some increased capabilities. So honestly, I would rather go both ways, but I'm going to have to choose one for this video. And at around this time, as far as a story goes, you will probably hear about the mighty Ender Dragon and decide to take your fight to it. But the question is, will you take up the blade or increase your brewing capabilities? Like I said, we're going to go ahead and get more levels in Fighter. So we're going to go ahead and get extra attack. Level 6 fighters get a feat. For Unearthed Arcana, we have the Brawny feat. This will increase our strength by 1, give us proficiency in athletics. If we already have proficiency in athletics, which we do, we get to do double our proficiency bonus to any athletics checks. Also, we count as if we were one size category larger for the purposes of determining your carrying capacity. This basically gives us the Goliath powerful build. Level 7 Fighter gets Natural Explorer. Grab Forest as your next favorite terrain. Level 8 Fighter gets another feat. Grab Alchemist from Unearthed Arcana. This will increase our intelligence by 1. This gives us proficiency in Alchemist supplies. If we already have proficiency in Alchemist supplies, which we do, we can now add double our proficiency bonus to those checks. And we also have expertise, so I believe that doubles it yet again. I don't know how that works. I would say ask your dungeon master. Also, as an action, you can identify one potion within 5 feet of you, and as if you had tasted it. You must see the liquid for this benefit to work. So that's good. You get identify for potions. Also, over the course of any short rest, you can temporarily improve the potency of one potion of healing of any rarity. To use this benefit, you must have alchemist supplies with you, and the potion must be within reach. If the potion is drunk no more than 1 hour After the short rest ends, the creature drinking the potion can forego the potion's die roll and regains the maximum number of hit points that the potion can restore. How awesome is that? I love it, you love it, we all love it. Moving on to level 9 fighter, we get Indomitable. Level 10 fighter gets improved combat superiority from the Scout archetype. Level 11 gets another extra attack, so we can now attack 3 times as part of our attack action. Awesome! And level 12 gets another ability score improvement. Increase your strength and your intelligence each by 1, rounding them off for one final time. Level 13, our Indomitable feature now has 2 uses. And finally, at level 14 fighter, we're going to grab a feat instead of that ability score improvement. You can either grab the Shield Master feat or the Mounted Combatant feat. Both are pretty useful, and I recommend either of them. But I think the most useful one in this case, as far as a story would go, would be the Shield Master. Now, since we are done with the build, let's move on to spells. Since we only have 6 levels of Artificer, we only get to go up to 2nd level spells. So, here's what I have available for you as a recommendation. Create Bonfire and Mending. Be able to mend any breaks or tears in our armor or our weapons, and we have a easy to set up campfire. First level, Detect Magic, Jump, Longstrider, and Identify. We need to be able to know what exactly our magical weapons can do when we take them out of various dungeon chests or take them from the cold hands of the zombie we just killed. Also, we need to be able to know what exactly an Ender Pearl does after we rip it out of the bodies of the Endermen we just slain. Enhance ability at 2nd level and Pyrotechnics. Get access to some fireworks. And also that enhance ability will increase the ability to carry more stuff if we pick Bull's Strength. So yeah, again, really useful stuff here. Well, I think that's all I have for you today, my dear viewers. I do hope that you enjoyed. If not, I would recommend checking out Tulok's video, because he actually has a very good character build, like I just said. But also, if you did not enjoy this build, tell me what I could have done differently in the comments and section down below. And I think that's all I'm going to do for now on Minecraft. For now, I do have plans on covering Minecraft some more in the future. This has been Drayhon, and I am offline.